Hey, Bold Thinkers, it's Kanisha from boldlivingtoday.com. Happy Friday, y'all. We made it to Friday. Woo! I know some of us are not sure what day of the week is, but I for sure knew when I woke up this morning that it was Friday. So I'm super excited to bring to you today a great expert around meditation. And if you've been joining us for the interviews all week for National Women's Health Week, thank you. I've been getting a lot of great feedback. Some of you had questions around yesterday's interview with the owner of Bliss Beauty Center. I spoke with Tiffany Lehman yesterday. She was so great. And she had a promo code that was 30% off your entire order. So that was expiring at around 4 p.m. Pacific time today. So I think if you get your orders in now, you'll still be able to use that. And then we had on Wednesday, we had Sharice Raymond talking about Serenity by Bella, and she had her promo code, which was Kanisha, my name, Kanisha20, and that's expiring on Monday, this coming Monday. So that was Serenity by Bella. So if you want to get in on those deals, check them out. Great tools, great products for you there. So today we're on different time zones. So if you are joining us and you have your libation, whether it's a cocktail, mocktail, wine, beer, whatever it is, grab it, relax, and enjoy it. And then also I want to let you know we're going to be doing a meditation during our time together on the live. So you might want to gather your blankets or pillows or anything to make yourself comfy when that's time. So you have some time to get that stuff. So we'll be doing that probably in about 20 minutes. So I just wanted to give you that preview. So I'm going to bring Margie on today so you can hear her and she can introduce herself. And I'm just so excited to see everybody jumping on. It's just been such a good week. I feel so filled up. Even though I was a little mentally exhausted after doing a lot of coaching this week in the interviews, I did wake up very happy this morning, and I didn't have any clients today, so it was like a low-key day. I doubt if I'll fill all the rings on my Apple Watch today, but there's days like that, and you have to be okay with it and not have too many high expectations of yourselves when you're in a pandemic. All right, so let me look for Margie here. Hey, Kia, and bring her on. How's everybody feeling? Let me know with an emoji in the comments how you're feeling, how you're doing. Margie!
Kanisha, how are you?
Look how you're a pro now, okay? You're an expert on Instagram Live.
Okay, this is a first time, and I'm not calling it yet a huge success because I tried that whole Lula TV thing, and I wasn't able to manage it, so we're doing it with the phone.
I know, it's totally fine. Just prop that phone up. The expectation is that we are here to learn from you and learn with you. It's all good. Yeah, this is Margie's first IG Live, so I'm excited to be the conduit of that so that she can be bringing more of her goodness and her knowledge to the world. So Margie, tell people who you are, what you do, and all of that.
Okay, well,
Let's
my name
go. Oh, yay. I'm looking at can you see the comments, Margie?
Oh, yay!
Okay, good,
Hi,
good,
Roxy.
good.
Yeah. So, so my name is Margie Suozzo, and I am one of the co-founders of Soul Healing Studio in Los Altos. And what we do is we teach meditation classes that we've done through several of the rec centers, Los Altos Hills and Mountain View, and so on. And we have led a group for about, I think it's 9 years now that meets on Thursdays. And there's just so much love in that group and so much connection. And we do a meditation with each other every week and try to send that out to the world, the planet, the universe, right? Make our goodness amplify.
That's awesome. A couple of things I want to just tell you all a tidbit about Margie. Margie, I'm not sure how we met, but we've been in each other's orbits, I would say probably for the last 6 years. And Margie is a super amazing proponent and staunch teacher in sustainability, in addition to doing the meditation. I have to mention that just because I feel that that's so important. And I know you think that's important too. And and it was not for 2019 when I did my annual vision board party. We had like 20 something women, and Margie got us started with a nice centering activity to get people focused on their goals. It was like a crazy, dark, rainy night, and people were just like, ah! And then she got us just really focused, and we had so much time, such a good time working on our vision boards. And I think we've done at least 2 vision board parties where you've been at.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3. And so it's just been really nice to, be in a creative space with Margie. And one of the things I was super excited about today with your interview being on Friday is that people are probably like, oh, I made it to the end of the week. So I think this is a really good time to talk about the wellness aspect of what you could do with, your work, and especially for people who are going into the weekend. And sometimes when you're working from home, you don't really cut off like week time from weekend time. And we need a break. We need to rest. We need to refuel and rejuvenate. And, I'm so excited to be with you tonight specifically. Like, even when I was talking to my husband who came home early from work, he's like, what do you got going on? I said, oh, I'm doing meditation. You might want to get on it on your phone. We might all need to bring it on down to get into this weekend together.
Well, I have to say, Kanisha, that this time, this pandemic, right, also kind of brings that to the forefront. It's like, for many of us, it's a time of, wow, we don't have all of these other things to do. Yeah. So we may be able to take a little bit more time to go inward, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully. And there's a lot of heightened anxiety. And so I think that heightened anxiety is really supported by meditation practices, by breathing. I know you've done a lot of mindfulness. And so I kind of like to refer to it as heartfulness. Right? Yeah. So if we're really coming from the heart, then there's so much more we can manage when we're faced with the challenges of this time.
So I think it's really important that you said the heartfulness piece, because I was going to ask you just right out of the gate to talk to us about intention setting, just because even though we are like seasoned in the quarantine, I think because it's been so long and we're not really sure when we're going to come out of it, intention setting becomes so important so that we do not like just lose it. So, can you talk to us about intention setting and the power of that and connecting that with heartfulness?
Right. So some of the things that we do through Soul Healing Studio are, meditation practices. And in that meditation practice, we do specify that, intention setting is a really important part of kind of creating the experience that you want.
Yes.
And that includes, I don't know, what you're doing in your morning meditation practice, because I think you have a regular meditation practice, right, Kanisha?
I do. I do my journaling, and then right now I'm really good at 5-minute meditation because, my brain just goes, woo! So 5 minutes of meditation and then the writing.
Right. And so the writing may be part of how you set your intentions, but often what we recommend is we do a meditation in the morning. A friend of ours, Terry, says RPM, rise, pee, and meditate.
Okay, write that down, everybody.
Write that down. And so as part of that meditation practice, you're just coming out of sleep and you're still in that quiet space. You take 5 to 10 minutes to ground and meditate. And then at the end of your meditation, you set your intentions for the day. How do I want to feel? Right? So again, coming back to the heart, what is it that I want to feel? And what is it that I want to experience today? How do I want to, exhibit my love, right? Or for other people. So the power of intention, I don't know if you're familiar with the law of attraction.
Yes.
So the law of attraction is where the thoughts that you put out are the ones that come back to you, right? That what we put out into the universe is that which comes back. So when we set our intentions, and we clearly articulate the thoughts and the feelings that we want to have and experience for the day or for the week, then those are the things that we're more readily able to receive. Right? Mm-hmm. So we open ourselves up to all of the goodness that we can imagine creating. Right? Now, some of that, when we talk in our meditation practice about the creative formula. So some of that comes from setting your intention, but in addition to setting your intention, you have to sort of align your desire with that intention. This is what I really want in my heart, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then in addition to aligning your desire, you also need to feel that believe that you can manifest that intention. Yeah. And there's so much wrapped up in that, particularly for women, right? There are a lot of self-worth issues. Do I believe I'm worthy? Do I believe I can receive this, right? And so that's a big block. So we want to clear those blocks in the process of setting our intentions. Make sure we're kind of going down. Well, that's my thought or desire. How much do I really desire it from my heart? Is it truly heart-centered? And then, do I believe that that's something that I can create? And then we surrender, right? Mm-hmm, so that's sort of part of the process of intention setting and creating that we use.
I love it. So I'm looking at the comments here, Margie. Margie, you are amazing, Margie, at helping people set intentions and manifest, knowing the truth. One of the things that I think is really interesting, and you and I have had sidebars about this, is about each of us just individually, not for anybody else, but just each of us creating the space to create and explore. And I love how you talked about the piece of just getting into or getting the clarity around your desires so that you can have some kind of focus on it. And one of the things when I'm talking to my clients about that, and setting the intentions, we go down what bold means for you. B is believing that you can. O is owning your boldness. L is letting go of the things that keep you stuck. And D is deciding you deserve it. And I think one of the things that...
Very similar.
Yeah. And one of the things that I think people are like, I don't have time to focus on those intentions, on those desires, on those things that I know that will just connect me more to my heart and just make me in that moment, or make me when I'm in that exploratory stage or discovery stage feel better about it. And so when you're talking with your groups, or when you're talking with yourself, or any of the clients and people that you serve, what do you tell them about creating the space, allowing the space, making the space?
Well, I'm sure I tell them the same thing you do, Kanisha, which is you don't have the time not to do this, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you're allowing yourself to kind of go where the winds will take you, right? It's not heart-centered living. It's kind of, scattershot. Granted, I've been guilty of this before, so it's not
all of us.
All of us. And so, if we take that time just to set the intention, just to have some quietness in our mind, in our heart, and in our physical body, right? If we can quiet each of those layers, right, we can access what I had mentioned to you that Eckhart Tolle talks about as the kingdom of heaven is within us, right? His interpretation is this idea that the kingdom really refers to the realm or the dimension, right? And heaven refers to, in ancient Aramaic, the spaciousness, the sky, right? So there's this vast spaciousness within us that we're not tapping into and we're not taking advantage of if we don't set aside that time. And I know, as a creative being, Kanisha, you do so much for the world and for youth to, help us kind of tap into our creativity. You can't do that from here, right? You have to do that from your heart. And to get there, you really need to tap into that vast spaciousness within.
I love that. The dimensions of spaciousness is within us. Yes. I love how you said, like quieting the layers. I feel like this time and space that we are in right now is full of so many different layers. You know, there's that whole thing that I've been seeing on social media that we are all in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat because we are experiencing, you know, all of this differently or dealing with it differently or having different levels of resources or tools available and things like that. And
Right.
one of the things when I was, you know, thinking about who I wanted to interview for this series, you know, first of all, I really wanted it to be about everybody could have access to whatever was said, like right now. You know, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for it to be delivered. You don't have to, you know, do more than we, you know, just then showing up when you can show up and then receiving the information. And I
Right.
think with meditation, at least I used to have this block, but I have learned, you know, people always think, or some people think that there's this entry fee to get to meditate or to start meditate or to begin the meditative practice. And
Yeah.
so for some of us who might be, you know, hung up as I used to be in just getting going or having the right space, like what are some of the things you tell people to just, you know, how they can just begin?
Yeah. Great question, Kanisha. I think really the simplest thing is just breath,
Mm.
right? Our breathing connects us to our spirit. So if we think of
Mm.
ourselves as physical beings with a spiritual component, I'd like to turn that on its head, right?
Mm.
We're spiritual beings with a physical manifestation, right? So if you think of us as these larger beings, right, that breath, just breathing, connects us immediately to that spirit self, that higher self, that inner being, right? So 3 breaths, right? We like to start with 6 or 7 deep breaths, but 3 breaths is enough if you're just pausing to get you there. And I think my husband was telling me that the military does this box breathing stuff.
Oh.
And they basically imagine going around a box, breathe in very tense situations, right? They recommend
Mm-hmm.
box breathe to reduce their anxiety. So they breathe here and then here and then here and then here. They imagine going around a box. And it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's really connecting us to that quiet, connected, aligned being that we are.
I love that. I'm like, you know, I'm reading what you wrote when we were preparing for this. I love it. You know, the solutions and practices include breathing as a means of connecting us to our true self, meditation to align you with your higher self and higher purpose, intention setting, and creative formula so you can identify blocks and resistance. Like, there's just so much resistance right now going on, and I will
Right.
say for myself, in my resistance moment is when I'm trying to over control things. You know, I'm trying to make it a certain way instead of allowing and then being at peace with that. You know, and this is why, you know, I love the RPM. You know, rise, P, meditate. So I'm kind of doing like I'm gonna get on that, but you know, I got the rise, P, meditate, journal piece just because I know for a lot of creative people there's a lot of chatter, and not negative chatter so much, but just like, ooh, try, do, make, create, see, you know, do that. And
Right.
I think for a lot of us who dwell in that space, you know, this shutdown or this lockdown or this quarantine, because I'm noticing which term people are using for it to describe it. But
Yes.
whatever you want to call it, you know, it has shifted a lot of how you go about expressing that and getting those things out. And, you know, what would you say to a person who just feels like, you know, everything is so much right now to think about doing deeper breathing or breathing practice or breath work, to think about meditating is just one more thing. Like, what would you tell them, even though we know this would be a good
Well,
space for them to create?
I think there's a little more too. I mean, I would say start with the breathing, right? But back to your other question, start with breathing. I would say, you know, simple, short meditation practice, and that can vary. What Mary and I in Banaz on Soul Healing Studio have a meditation that you can just click on and listen to, and it's a guided meditation that's lovely and connects you right away to your true self, your higher self. So sometimes listening to something where it's more passive is a little easier than if you're stopping and just observing your breath, which is another type of practice. But even getting out in nature, going for a walk, I know that's really important to you.
Yes, I need it so much.
Yeah. So you know how that makes you feel, right? And so that's the thing, that's the guide, right? How do you feel? How do you want to feel? And what are the things that are going to get you there, right? So if it's walking in nature, if it's just pausing and taking a few deep breaths and connecting you to your spirit self, right? If it's meditating, there are a number of different, if it's dancing, right? Some people are movement dance. Some people need to do movement and dance before they can quiet.
Yeah.
Just to get out the willies. And you were talking about journaling as a means of getting out all of that mind chatter, right? And like you said, it's not all, some of it is a form of kind of manifesting your creativity, right? Doing that writing. But a lot of it is also letting your kind of the mind chatter quiet. It's another means of quieting your mind chatter.
I love that.
So then I'm forgetting what your second question was.
I know. So, I want to meditate or I want to do deeper breathing or breath work, but I feel like it's just one more thing. Like, how can I get over that hurdle?
Yeah. So I think that key is rise, P, meditate. It's just make it a priority. And if you make it a priority, then, and recognize that you want to be living from that larger self, right?
Yeah.
Not from that mind telling you, oh, I've got to do this, blah, 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 right? All of that stuff. You want to be living from that vast spaciousness. So give yourself the love that allows you to go and just take those 5 or 10 minutes in the morning or at the end of the evening, just to give yourself that start to the day or that beautiful night's sleep, right?
I love it. So I was talking to, who was I talking? Last week I was talking to Suzanne Bell, a person we know mutually, and we were talking about moms specifically because we were going into Mother's Day, but this is applicable to anybody. And we were talking about how to create your own pop-up sanctuary or pop-up retreat or pop-up quiet space, whatever you want to call it. And, we are being conscious of people don't have a lot of space in their homes because everybody's home, or you have a different configuration. If you live in a city sector, you might be living more in high rises. So, space is at a premium. And we were talking about having maybe a chair or furniture on your patio or your deck that's a space for, your quiet sanctuary retreat space. Yeah. So a lot of times when people think about meditation, they think they have to have this whole setup. What would you say to them about the setup? What do you really need to have? What makes it the best thing?
I would say whatever makes you comfortable, right? Simple is better in my view. I mean, I stay in bed actually, right? And sometimes you can just sit in a chair, feet to the ground, spine straight, so you can feel that connection, right? That's sitting in a chair, any old chair. But I like the idea of kind of creating a little space that feels like a sanctuary for you, right? And for me, that's this whole, rise, be, meditate. For me, it's in the morning. I literally don't leave my room before I do my meditation. But I also, Kanisha, like to stop even during the course of the day and carry that practice, that meditative moment throughout the day, right? You go for a walk and you see a gorgeous flower and you smell it. It's like you're being very present to that moment and experiencing it fully and recognizing your connection with the earth. And I mean, there's so many things, right, in that moment. And you can do that throughout your day.
Yeah, I love that. One thing I've done that's a shift on my walks, the walks, that's regular and going out in the mask. But the shift is that when we first started this, it was the top of March. And so spring was, at least in California, it was earlier spring, how our seasons
Right.
are. And there was
Right.
this one tree I would walk by every day, and I was like, I want to make sure I'm noticing, and I would just snap just one quick picture, not a composite, just like click. I didn't have to get the right angle. I didn't have to,
Yeah.
do all this. I didn't have to create something. And then I took a picture of that every day because I was like, one, I need to be motivated to get out, even though I don't like the news that I'm hearing. I need to be out in nature. I need to have this motivation. And then at the end of March, I just made this beautiful electronic, because it's on my phone, electronic collage of the different phases of this tree blooming. And I
Yeah.
put that in my little retreat corner,
Oh,
only because, I love visualization things. Because some days when I don't feel like motivated to go outside, I just go look at that. I'm like, why don't you go look at that, and you'll feel like you have nature. And then I see it, and then I want to go out,
of
you know?
course.
Yeah. So, if I'm feeling sluggish in my breath work practice, like what kinds of motivation incentives could I give myself to keep going? And when I say
Right.
keep going at whatever pace you're going, but to just keep trying, keep going, keep experiencing.
Right. So, Kanisha, what's your process for your meditation practice, and do you have a sanctuary that you've set aside?
So the RPM, rise, peak, meditate. So that, and then my meditation is 5 minutes. I use a guided one that I just have on my phone. So I wake
Mhm.
up, go and do that. And so what I have on my nightstand on my side is I have a diffuser. I know I keep talking about these diffusers, but I got my diffuser. I get it going, and then I either sit in bed, or as the weather has gotten nicer, our bedroom leads out to the outside, and then I have my chair, and I will go sit out there. And since
Nice.
the guided meditation is on my phone, I can just take it and just have it with me. So I don't have, my setup is portable. It can go with me wherever
Right.
when I go. And I work from home, and before I could come out into the living room and meditate and have a little setup and stuff like that. But now that we're negotiating space differently, I'm
Yeah.
mostly going outside, staying to my side of the bed, and going to do it. And there was a couple of days, I think the week before last, that I didn't do it, and I was texting a friend, and she was like, "Did you do your journaling and meditation?" And I hadn't. And it's really critical that I do it because it gets me focused on what the day can bring me, not me just dealing with the day. It's like, oh, I get to do this day. No, look what the day is offering me today. So that's my practice.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. We have a friend in one of our meditation groups who, because of COVID-19, is having space constraints. So she'll come and join in the bathroom, right? It's like, why not? It doesn't matter as long as
Yeah.
you can create enough space and separation for you. And of course, your children or the other people, your husband, the other people living with you know that how much this benefits you, right? They
Well,
probably
that's
see every
true.
day.
Yeah. Do you want the raging lunatic Kanisha, or do you want the Zen Kanisha?
Your choice.
Okay. So we talked about you taking us through a meditation, and I think this is a good time because we keep talking about it. So let's be about it. So let us
Okay.
know what we're going to do.
Okay, I'd kind of like to do two things if we have
Okay.
time for two
We
things.
do. We do.
Okay. All right. The first is kind of finding your happy place. Right? So going to and we'll just lead through it. So if everybody on and Kanisha, we can close our eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's take advantage of what we've been talking about and quiet our mind just with our breath right now. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Quiet your mind. Quiet your thoughts. Take another big deep breath in and out through the mouth. come down to your heart center. And from your heart, consider a time when you felt very joyful, aligned, happy, fulfilled. Just let the first thing that pops into your mind populate your mind. And when you're there, I want you to round out the details. What did you feel like? Visualize it a little bit more clearly. Where were you? What were the smells and the colors? And then how did you feel? How did you feel in your head? Or your mind? How did you feel in your throat? And your chest, your heart, your stomach, and your body, just body all together, and your spirit. And how did that feel? Now let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Come back solidly into our physical bodies and share. What was that happy place?
So I was thinking about when my family and I went, and all four of us, my daughter was home from college, and we went camping in January of this year down in Laguna Beach. And it's just the weather's so perfect at that time of year. It's not too hot. There's not a lot of people camping because that's winter in California. But, I'm from the Midwest, so I'm like, woohoo, January at the beach. And, we just spent so much time outside, and I love being outside, and we had zero agenda other than, when you're going to have a meal, but, that's all negotiable, and everything was slow.
Yeah.
And easy.
Right. And so did you notice in your body how your body felt in that moment?
Yeah, I noticed that, immediately, initially with the breathing, I relaxed my shoulders, and then I just felt softer in my chair, like just my whole position and all of that. Yeah. And then I'm sitting here, and I don't have any shoes or socks on, and I have like this nice warm blanket, like soft fluffy blanket on the floor, and so I was rubbing my feet on it and just really, feeling cozy and relaxed, and just not worried about anything. Right. Nothing was weighing on me.
Right. So, I mean, that's how we want our lives to be, right? A sense of freedom, it sounds like.
For sure. Right? Mm-hmm.
A sense of slow and calm and peace and quiet and joy, being with your family, right? Mm-hmm. It's fun to see what people are putting in.
I know, I'm reading that too. I know, relaxed and I also feel relaxed and expanded, Susie. That's so great. Yeah, I feel like that right now too.
Oh, good. So when you go there to this sort of happy place and you recognize, oh, that's how I feel when I am fully in myself, right? This is your true essence. That's where you want to be all the time. That's what we're trying to achieve through meditation, through breathing and connecting to spirit and expanding our consciousness and our spirit self, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking for in this exercise, really to get a taste of, oh, this is my happy place. And I can feel that in my body. I can feel that in my quiet, peaceful mind. And that's how I can go through life. I don't need to be there to do it. You just did that in, less than 5 minutes. You went there.
I love that. I love that. I just like, when my mind gets relaxed like that, I always see like these really beautiful, vibrant colors, and it just makes me feel so, vibrant in that relaxed mode. I love that.
Wonderful. What colors did you see?
I
Or
saw
did
a
you?
lot. Yeah, no, I did. I saw like corals and reds and then yellow.
Oh, nice. That is
Yeah. There was a
beautiful.
question here. It says, so does this help keep your vibration high?
Yeah, so we haven't really talked much about that, but part of what we are energetic beings, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
when I was saying we're not physical beings with a spiritual side. We're spiritual beings with a physical presence, right? A physical embodiment. And so the fact that we are energetic beings means that we vibrate. I'm not that well studied on this, but there's an organization called Heart Math Institute, and they have looked at the electromagnetic frequency that comes from our brain, which you would think would be really big because we're so thought centered, right? Mind,
Mm-hmm.
and from our heart. And it turns out that our heart is 5,000 times, in terms of electromagnetic frequency, that of our brains, right? So in terms of vibration, when we do this exercise, we are actually raising our frequency. And when we raise our frequency, it's easier for us to access this part of ourselves, which is our true essence. So,
Oh,
yes.
and she says, wow. Okay. That's so good, Margie. This is just really good to go on the weekend. I mean, it's just like leave everything else that was going on and just really go enjoy. That's how I'm feeling right now. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to, I guarantee you, after this and people get fed, I am probably going to be doing a little crafting because, now I'm all like, oh, I'm in my like creative, happy space.
Creative
Bust,
juices are
they
flowing.
are. Bust out that washi tape. Let's go.
Well, Molly, my daughter has been doing this curve stitching. Have you ever done that? They started it in
No.
geometry in 8th grade, and
Huh.
it is just amazing. You do basically lines with embroidery floss
I have that.
around a circle, and can create these incredible. I'll take a picture and share it
It's
with you.
on paper.
It's on paper.
Oh
Like,
yeah, please send me that.
yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah,
So
I love that, Mary. The new happy hour. This is a happy hour. I love that. I love that. This is the happy hour we probably all need.
So if time permits, Kanisha, the second exercise that I was thinking we would do was this quieting. It was shared. That exercise I actually learned from Lisa Young, who has a website called Universal Soul Spa, and she has a lot of wonderful meditations.
Soul Spa.
Universal Soul Spa.
Okay.
Yeah, wonderful meditations, and so we originally did that in one of her classes, and I just love it. This happy place idea, feeling what it feels like, knowing that you can go there at any time, really. The second one, most of this is actually taught by a woman named Caroline Corey of OmniumUniverse.com, which is something that Mary and Benaz and I, through Soul Healing Studio, that's the method that we used. And so this particular one is about what we call 0 points. I was talking about your mind, and then your heart, and your physical body, these 3 layers, and how these 3 layers, if we quiet each one of them, we can feel incredible peace and quiet. So we're going to do that exercise right now. And so I'm going to ask everybody to visualize as I talk through it, their mind 0 point, which is the pineal gland, their heart 0 point, which is just behind the heart and the thymus gland, and then another 0 point right behind the navel. Okay. So we'll start with that, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Close your eyes, and everybody take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Another deep breath in and out through the mouth. One more deep, deep breath. And out. And now for a moment, bring your awareness to the center of your brain and to the thoughts that may be floating around your brain. Allow those thoughts to kind of circle around your brain. These are thoughts that may be misaligned or mind chatter that you want to quiet. So imagine them circling around the center of your brain and flushing down through that 0 point in the center of your brain, the pineal gland, and transmuting into peace and quiet. Once again, observe the thoughts around your brain and imagine them going in a circle around your brain and asking them to clear through this pineal gland, quieting your mind. Quieting your thoughts. And now move down to your heart center and become aware of all of the emotions, charged emotions from the week, from the day, emotions you weren't even aware of until you looked at them and started paying attention. And allow them to circle around your heart 0 point. Just swirl around and ask and intend that these unwanted emotions just circle around like going down a drain through that heart 0 point and transmute into love. Again, bring your awareness to any residual emotions that you might be experiencing or have experienced today or this week, and allow them to just float around in like a donut shape around your heart and in through the center and transmute into love, quieting your emotions, quieting and expanding your beautiful hearts. And now bring your awareness to just behind your navel. And feel, sense any discomfort in your physical body. So become aware of the little aches and pains that sometimes we don't recognize until it's too late. And just bring them to an area around that's circling around your navel. So any aches and pains, just put them in there and circle them around this 0 point behind your navel and allow them to just go down the drain and come out as perfect, healthy, clear physical body. So now you have this quiet mind and a quiet heart and a calm body. And from here, imagine a light at the center of your heart, pink and white and yellow. Expanding outwards in all directions. Feeding you, your whole being, your whole spirit. And sharing this being, this calm, quiet, heart-centered being with your family and your neighborhood, energetically that is, and the whole planet. So that everyone and everything in our precious planet is wrapped in your love. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And open your eyes.
Is everyone awake out there? It was so relaxing. It's like so good, Margie. Oh, I love that. Oh, I felt like I was floating, actually.
Oh, neat, Kanisha. Yeah.
I really did. Oh, my mom is on here, and she said thanks.
Oh, it's sweet.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, it was really beautiful. I agree with Nina. That was just so, like, I feel like I just had a nice, refreshing, nap, or,
Yeah.
just energized. It's so good. My body feels so good.
That's one of the things I love too, Kanisha. It almost like, okay, maybe not like Bliss Los Altos type spa, but it's like a little spa, right? You take a short period of time, and you kind of just cleanse and quiet your whole body, and are really ready and refreshed for whatever comes. And we just shed that all over the planet.
Yeah, no, it's like, just be on your way. Get that out of there. I think one of the biggest things I've noticed, I had said this I think I said it in a different interview. I think I was talking to Breezy, who was our yoga practitioner. Let's see. Tiffany from Bliss says, "Gotta bring the spa home." That was wonderful. Feeling good. Oh, I love it. But when we were talking about adjusting our expectations of ourselves and not, oh my gosh, Mom, wait for me for your red wine. I'll FaceTime you. We were talking about not having too many expectations of ourselves and really just going easy and gently. And then I know a lot of times I'm hearing my clients say, there's so many expectations that you migrate your regular life to quarantine life, that you will try to keep the same schedules, that you'll try to keep the same activities. And I was like, well, this is a really, really good time. You talked about the happy place, and I talk about like a happy jar. And I was like, this is the time, especially with people who are trying to contend with homeschooling and working from home and just quarantine. I said, just take some sticky notes or strips of paper, like whatever you have, and put it in a jar. It could be that spaghetti sauce jar that you had that you washed out. You don't have to create anything extra. I mean, if you want to put washi tape on it, fine. But, super simple, so that when you're feeling like stuck or, a little anxious or stressed and you just need to clear something out, instead of trying to figure out what to do, just go into that happy jar and, and pull out a strip of paper. And, I think for myself in my happy jar, I want to hear those recorded meditations that you all have available. I want to hear about, joining in on a session. And I think I will add that to my, happy jar going forward, just because I see how, I'm on Instagram Live with all, these people watching, and I'm like, oh, I'm just having such a good relaxed moment. It's so good. I just love it.
Well, I think the other thing, Kanisha, I guess this is, there's all this thought about what can this moment be for us, right? Yeah. And I think with all of this home time, and I know it can be very busy, right, with kids and trying to maintain a regular commitment in your job. And I love your happy jar idea, right, or making sure you find, but operating from that place, like learning in this environment where you're not expected to be out there doing this or that, if you can operate in your creativity, in your work life, from a space where you are really connected and aligned with who you really are, with that calm, quiet, beautiful presence, right? How much more we offer the world, right? And this is a time and a space, I think, to practice that.
I know. And then you say offer the world and offering yourself that self-compassion. A lot of us need more practice with that. We just do. I'm involved in that area, but then I do have my slip-ups like, oh, you should have been just doing it. And it's like, no. Let's talk about it. I have my routines for talking about it, my space to call myself out on it. But, it's good to have these strong reminders, especially from all the experts this week. It's just been such a really... I know that I helped organize this with my assistant, but, I am here as a learner and a receiver, and it's just been so great to learn from all these expert women.
Right. What a fabulous idea, Kanisha, to do this whole wellness week with all of these women. And it sounds like you have a lot of them on your Instagram feed, right? Or at least segments of.
Segments. And then all the interviews, all 9 will be up on YouTube next week on my YouTube channel. So we have one more interview tomorrow on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is around time management, but getting the help for it. Just because I know people will be like, oh, I've had this great, wellness week, but now I have to tend to my real life and organize things. And I'm like, that's okay. We got something for that too. So that's how we'll round that out. So tell us where we can work with you and work with the whole Soul Healing Studio, how to access that information and all of that.
Okay. So we're at soulhealingstudio.com. It's all one word.com, pretty easy. And we have a Facebook page. I think I sent you the link to that because it's a little bit more complicated than just Soul Healing Studio.
Okay.
But if you search Soul Healing Studio on Facebook, you'll find us easily enough. There's one other organization that has a similar name.
Mm-hmm. And, look for Margie's face.
Yeah, maybe not with my gray hair. I think the picture has one before the gray hair. So the other thing is...
No, thank you, Mary. Mary put it down in the comments. Thank you, Mary.
Oh, great. Okay. Thanks, Mary. So we usually do offer meditation classes online, and those are posted both on our Facebook page and on our website. And, well, during COVID-19, we're offering them online. We also offer in person when we're out of this situation. At that point...
I'm laughing because Mary said you need a new photo.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the long and the short of it. Soulhealingstudio.com. Find us there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Margie. Thank you for getting on Instagram Live. I think it'd be awesome. I'm like, this is going to be fantastic. And I just appreciate you. I appreciate the generosity of taking us through those exercises and really, allowing us to have this space to, get filled up. Because a lot of us are a little depleted. And a lot of us are giving and not, replenishing ourselves. So I really think you did a fantastic job for all of us with that. And for people who will see this later, Yeah,
Oh,
I
thank
know.
you
It is a
so.
great way to start the weekend, Nina. I agree. Yeah. This is
Thank
so
you.
check out Margie, and there's no Instagram for soul
No,
healing. You hear
no,
me? You hear me yet?
yet. I like that growth mindset, Kanisha.
It's what I do. Well, I don't want anybody to miss out on this good stuff, find them. So, yeah, this is so great. So, thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic, fulfilling, renewed, restful weekend. Take good care of yourselves without too many rigid expectations. Extend grace, set your intentions, do your breath work, do your meditation. Go check out the recorded meditations with Margie so you can hear her beautiful voice, and it's very calming.
Thank you.
And then just take good care of yourselves and be bold.
Kanisha, thank you so much. You're such a light in this world. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, honey. I can't wait till we can have an in-person workshop. I'm ready to make stuff with people.
Me too.
All right.
Okay.
Bye,
Love you.
everybody.
Bye.